Good day, everyone. I'm Honey Jane Delica as your presenter. I would like to share some infographic about the 19th century Philippine economy, society, and the Chinese mestizo. So, let's start about the changing landscape of Philippine economy and society. Many scholars consider the 19th century as an era of profound change in the Philippines. Why? It's because during this period, vast economic, political, social, and cultural were felt, with the goal of invigorating the profitability of the colonies like the Philippines. Next is the Chinese and the Chinese mestizo. The Chinese mestizo were an important element of the Philippine society in the 19th century because Chinese mestizo greatly benefited from the changing economy since pre-colonial times. They proved to be necessary outsider in the Philippines, colonial economy and society, and the impact of life in the economy. The economic development precipitated social, political, and cultural development as well. As Manila became the trading center, it became visible destination for people seeking condition in the farmland. Now, let's see how society, economic conditions, environment conditions, and socio-cultural condition in the Philippines in 19th century. Let's start with society. In the 19th century, the people in the society are courteous, respectful to older people, rich people, and other. They help each other. Economic development and the rise of Filipino nationalism, the country was open to foreign trade at the end of the 18th century, which resulted in the rapid rise of foreign firms in Manila. Economic conditions. In the 19th century, Philippines was well developing an export craft economy. On the other hand, the type of governance brought by the Spanish had a direct impact and the high official. The importation of books, magazines, and newspapers from Europe and America prospered. By the end of the century, the nation's output of goods and services had increased fourfold, and the portions contributed by industry had at least doubled, whereas the condition of agriculture had declined to less than half and the total output. Economic condition. In the 19th century, Philippines is undergoing much from the hydraulic degradation, mainly the form of hydrological system, overexploitation of fisheries, destructions of coral reefs, and extension of species, and socio-cultural conditions of the Philippines in 19th century. We know that our culture, religion, values, practice, and customs from the Spanish, and they treat the native Filipinos poorly. And they also decide what our lasts are. The Filipinos in the 19th century had suffered from feudalistic and master-slave relationship by the Spaniards. Man is partly the product of his time. His life and his message are affected by his environment, and the event takes place in the world he lives in. That's what Rizal say. In addition, I would like to share how Rizal's life in the Philippines within the development of the 19th century. Rizal became the father of the modern Filipino nation. Rizal was a genuine Spanish intellectual during his time, persecuted and executed. not only for his pro-independent ideas, but also like the fate suffered by many Peninsulaниans throughout the 19th century. He became the physician and the man of letters who was an inspiration to the Philippine nationalists.